Hello, I'm Evelyn Ellis, and today I'd like to talk to you about codependency in relationships, how to heal from abusive relationships, and what even a healthy relationship looks like. Now, you may be familiar with dependency in relationships, where we rely on the other person to get our needs met. Being dependent on others is not necessarily a bad thing, and in a healthy mutual giving relationship, this would be considered interdependence. This graph shows the relationship between freedom and responsibility in interpersonal relationships. Codependency is a level of dependency that exceeds what is healthy. A codependent person seeks out validation and self-worth by prioritizing their partner's needs. In these types of relationships, there is typically a caregiver and a recipient. The caregiver's subconscious hope is that the other person will see all the love and dedication they give and be inspired to change. But they're hanging on, and addiction to their relationship can be destructive, especially if the relationship is emotionally or physically abusive. Codependent people do not think that they are worthy of love, so they often settle for less, most of the time with people who have addictions themselves. A codependent person looks to fix the other person, inadvertently enabling the other's addiction. People in these dynamics have poor boundaries, a desire to control the other person's behavior, anxiety, low self-worth, fear of abandonment, fear of change, and struggles with intimacy. This can often be attributed to early childhood attachment wounds, but it's important to consider that survival skills learned from trauma may not be what is needed to heal and move on. So how do you heal from a relationship addiction? One of the first steps is recognition and observation of your own behavior. Some of the signs that you may be codependent are: you feel responsible for your partner's happiness. You need approval from others to gain your self-worth. You feel responsible for the actions of others. Your moods are controlled by the thoughts and feelings of those around you. You have difficulty making decisions and often doubt yourself. You're reluctant to trust others, and you do more than you share in the relationship to keep the peace. Now, after recognizing maladaptive codependent behaviors, we can focus on healing. Some of the helpful steps to this would be, to start being honest with yourself and your partner, and maybe recognizing when it's time to take a break. This can be important when establishing clear boundaries. You can also consider talking to a mental health professional in individual or couples therapy, where one of the things that they may encourage you to do is observe your own negative thoughts and emotions. Another really helpful resource is Codependence Anonymous, a 12-step group program. Now, you may wonder, what does a healthy relationship even look like? While moving from codependency to interdependency, you will still enjoy seeing your partner minus the neediness. You'll find acceptance in yourself while also being open to support from others. Some key values of an interdependent relationship are autonomy and a balance of doing things together and separately while still maintaining time for personal interests, active listening, setting and keeping boundaries and not being afraid to say no, taking responsibility for your own behaviors and emotions, and having an open and approachable body language. There is hope for managing and healing from codependent behaviors. If you connect with this personally, please know that there are resources and information out there to help you. Codependence Anonymous offers free group meetings with people with similar struggles. Their website is called coda.org or CODA.org. I will link a few more resources for those struggling in abusive relationships. 2 questions I have for you today to get you thinking are: number 1, what types of things do you do for self-care? And number 2, what types of boundaries do you have in your own relationships? Thank you, and I really hope this was helpful in understanding some general information about codependency.